Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 141st Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. It's an unusual day for me to put a battle on, as it's Friday, but I thought I'd just put a bit of a bonus battle on for you to have a look at. The team I'm in today consists of Brotherhood member Northern, who has bought the Rome Julio faction. Northern's just come back from a 5-year break from RTW. He was a great player in his day, and now he's back and he's enjoying RTW once again, so it'd be great to see how he does in this game. Then we have RTW member Luna. Luna's only been playing Rome Total War for about 7 or 8 months now, but seems to have blossomed into a really good player. And I think most people that play Luna agree with that, that Luna's a good player. And Luna's bought the Rome Julio faction. And then we have myself, Spartan Commander, who has bought the Rome SBQR faction. So there's our team there. It'll be interesting to see how well we do, but you wait to see the other team. A lot of veterans in the other team, should be a great one to watch. And here is the other team. We have King's member Indy, who has bought the Rome Brutio faction. Then we have King's member Marcus. Marcus is an RTW veteran, been playing RTW for years, and he's bought the Rome Scipio faction. And then we have RTW player Hannibal, who has also bought the Rome Scipio faction. So there's the other team. I hope this will be a great battle for you to watch. Should be a lot of surprises. At this very early stage of the battle, you can see that the enemy Scipii infantry on our right is moving aggressively towards our ally Northern there on our right flank. Putting a bit of pressure on us, probably looking to make us into a little bit of a defensive formation there against the aggression. As you can see, I think the enemy Scipii general there is RTW player Hannibal there, moving round to our right. If you notice, I'm bringing my cavalry over to our right. I think at the time of the battle I was thinking maybe because Hannibal was being so aggressive, we may have been able to attack him there. That's why I think I brought my cavalry over. But in the end I don't think we did. But as you can see there, we've got a lot of cavalry plus Northern's infantry, and if we were to hit him fast and hard, we may well have been able to take Hannibal out. There you are. Now if you look here, can you see we've kind of taken up a bit of a defensive formation here. You know, we've talked in other battle videos about this. If you go too defensive, you start having to react to the other team, kind of dance into their tune instead of them doing that to you. I've just paused the game here so you can actually see how defensive our team has become. Can you see there, we've formed into a really defensive position there. And like I said earlier, if you go very defensive, you hand the initiative to the enemy team. We have to react to what they do. And like I said earlier, it's kind of like we dance to their tune. And in battle, you don't really want that to happen. So I'm hoping that we don't stay too defensive for too long, and we might be able to put in an attack to make them move to us. Right, at this stage of the battle, you can see we're still kind of moving back away from RTW player Hannibal's advancing towards us. We're still kind of in a bit of a defensive, if you like, mindset at the moment. If you notice over to our left flank, though, you can see that the enemy Brutii infantry are moving down. So what I'm going to do, I've decided I'm going to move out to meet the Brutii infantry instead of just staying defensive. So, as I say, if you stay defensive, you hand the initiative to the enemy. So sometimes staying defensive is a good thing, but not to stay defensive too long. You kind of need to, if you like, set the music for them to dance to instead of yourself. Okay, I'm just going to pause the game here for a second, just to take stock of the situation. If you notice over on our right flank here, you can see that the enemy army is facing our right flank, Allies army there, and everything seems to be a bit quiet at the moment. But new players watching this, can you see a dangerous position that my infantry's in there? Can you see where the danger would be to my infantry formation here? Have a look around the battlefield. I know veterans will spot this straight away, but new players watching this, where do you think the danger is to my infantry? Right. Do you think it's the enemy green infantry in front of me? No, if you look to that, all that 6 cavalry units in wedge formation out to my right, they are really in a position there to charge into my right flank. If you notice that the Brutii enemy cavalry are ready to charge in to my allies' left flank there, or they could charge all 12 cavalry units into either one of our flanks. But if you notice, we positioned our cavalry, taking this into consideration, ready to counter if they do try this. But if you do notice that, as I say, new players watching this, can you see how my flank looks very exposed to that cavalry? But I have got my cavalry ready to counter if they do attack. And if you notice that Lunar and Northern have both got their cavalry there ready to counter as well. Meanwhile, over on our right flank here, you can see the RTW player Hannibal and our ally Northern there are actually facing each other, exchanging a few pilers there. If you notice that Lunar and Marcus there's not a lot going on there in the centre, but you can see Hannibal here is on our right flank is being aggressive towards Northern there. Right, if you can see, some of the enemy cavalry have moved now, and there are now 12 units of enemy cavalry in wedge formation there over to my right flank. It'll be interesting to see what those cavalry are going to do. Do you notice that the enemy Marcus with his Scipio infantry moving some infantry out to support that cavalry? If you notice that Lunar spotted that and is moving infantry support out to her left as well, so that if and when that cavalry goes in, both teams there, both armies are going to have infantry involved as well. As you can see, we've got our cavalry, if you like, locked and loaded, ready to go if anything happens. But once again, can you see we're in a bit of a defensive mindset here? We're waiting to counter what they're going to do. We're kind of not, if you like, getting the ball rolling that much. Okay, can you see the enemy cavalry starting to charge in now? We've got infantry in there as well. And if you notice that the Brutii cavalry, the enemy cavalry on the other flank is charged in as well. The other Scipii cavalry is charged into Northern's infantry. So now I'm going to charge my cavalry straight up through Lunar's cavalry into the enemy Brutii and Scipii cavalry there. Can you see my cavalry go in? And as they hit, bang, as that impact goes in there. I think I'm also going to move my infantry over to the cavalry melee there. Can you see I've moved my infantry over as well? And if necessary, I can throw some units into that melee there. I know that I'll probably be throwing pilers into the enemy cavalry at that time as well. You notice the Scipii general just been killed. Right now, can you see that a lot of the enemy Brutii and Scipii cavalry have routed there? Okay, now new players watching this, remember we've talked about this in other battle videos. Okay, just going to pause the game for a second. Do you remember we talked about if you don't chase down the routers, they will rally and probably charge into the rear or flank of you with those rallied units, and you could lose the battle. So remember that, and remember you must chase the routers off the battlefield so there's no chance of them coming back. And if you notice that my cavalry there, my SBQR cavalry there, that's just broken through those units there, it's going to try and chase those units off. Right, just a quick look at the other situation on the battlefield here. Can you see our allies doing quite well against the enemy Scipii units there? We've got cavalry out to the right flank, and things are looking pretty good on our right. In the centre there, things are looking pretty good as well. There's a fierce battle going in the centre there, but we seem to be doing okay there. I mean, well, over on our left flank, you can see the enemy Brutii infantry attacking my Scipii infantry there. So there's a general overview of what's happening. Right, as I said to you about chasing the routers down, can you see that my SBQR cavalry are charging those routers down? Can you see some of those enemy units are starting to rally? Can you see they've lost their white flag and they've started to rally? So I'm going to charge my cavalry in to keep them routing. Don't let them rally, keep them on the run, keep them heading towards the edge of the battlefield, run them off the battlefield so they can't come back. A lot of veterans watching this, as well as myself, have seen where units have rallied and come back and they've actually caused the battle to be turned and your team is lost. So make sure you chase the racers from the battlefield. As you can see here, can you see my two allies cavalry attack there? That's what I call a cav sandwich. See the two lots of red cavalry going in from each flank there, bang as they hit, sandwiching that Scipio infantry. Nice little cavalry, combination cavalry hit there. Can you see my SBQR cavalry has just charged down into the back of that Brutii infantry there? So, as you see, at the beginning of this battle, if you notice that we were very defensive, you know, reacting to the enemy team there. But we've managed to turn the battle around now, and we became aggressive, and things seem to have worked out okay for us there. See, my allies, Julii cavalry, just charged in there.
Great gods be praised.
And if you notice over on the left, you see my SBQR cavalry is just charged in as well. And of course I'm aiming for the Brutii general. That's who I want to get. As you know, in other battle videos we talked about, if we can kill the enemy general, then the morale of his troops will start to drop. So that's why I was going for the Brutii general there. See, once again my cavalry charged in, got the full cavalry charge bonus, and then pulled back out. I didn't hang around there fighting infantry. And if you notice what my allies are doing as well with their cavalry, charge in, smash into the enemy, get the full cavalry charge bonus, then rally, pull back and rally. Probably with a mindset to charge in again. If you notice with my SBQR cavalry, that's exactly what I've done. I pulled back, rallied my cavalry, and are now charging in again. And as that cavalry hits, bang, as that cavalry hits there. And what I like to do is try and take my cavalry through the enemy if I can, and come out behind them. That's something I would like to. And as you can you see my SBQR cavalry now has pierced the enemy line, has got in behind them, and now I want to turn them into the back of the engaged infantry there. Can you see how I've actually done that? Charged through, broke their line, and then reverse it, if you like, charge the cavalry back into the rear of the engaged enemy troops there. As I say, new players watching this, there's lots of, when you watch these battle videos, there's lots of hints and tips that you can maybe pick up at all. So when you actually play a game, you might think, oh yeah, that was a good way of doing something, and then you can try that yourself and see how you get on with it. As you can see on the battlefield, it's only a 3v3 battle, but you can see that there's a heck of a lot of dead in actual patches on the battlefield. There's dead spread all over the battlefield, but there's like kind of patches where there's big, lots of big clumps of dead, where the battle was very intense. First thing I'd like to say is really well played to both teams there. Especially I thought to the enemy team, I thought they played extremely well. I liked the aggressive movement that they were showing us. They were kind of really trying to keep us defensive, so we would have to, as I said before, react to them and kind of dance to their tune. So really well done to them, and really well played to Luna and Northern. I saw a lot of great teamwork, a lot of great support going on there between those two, so really well played to them. It's nice to see Northern getting a feel for RTW again after a 5-year break, and really nice to see Luna playing so well after only playing RTW for 7 months. So really well done to everybody in the game. I hope you enjoyed it. It's Spartan Commander saying bye for now.